Good luck to everyone out there taking the February LSAT. I hope that you crush it. At this point in the final week before the February LSAT, I'm typically getting lots of last minute questions about LSAT test day and how to prep in the final week. Today, I'm going to break all of that down for you. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Of course, back when I took the LSAT, it was in person and on paper. Now you could take it on a computer from home or in person at a prometric testing center. The rules look a little bit different whether you're taking it remotely, meaning from home, or in person. Today I'm going to break all of that down. If you're taking the LSAT remotely, pens, pencils, mechanical pencils, and highlighters are all totally fine. You can have 6 sheets of scratch paper, and it can be blank, lined, or graph paper, but it has to be standard sized paper, meaning 8.5 by 11. There used to be a loophole where you could use legal sized paper, but LSAC has sadly since closed that loophole. You can have any kind of drink, but it's got to be in a clear container, and you can use soft foam generic earplugs to block out any noise. If you're taking the LSAT in person at a testing center, the rules are a little bit different. Prometric will supply you with noise canceling headphones to block out any sound from other test takers and the proctor. They'll give you pencils and scratch paper, so don't bring your own. If you want to have a drink, it's got to be water in a clear container, and you'll be taking the LSAT on their device, meaning a desktop computer, so don't bring your own computer or tablet. With regard to LSAT test day timing, if you have standard timing, you'll have 2 35-minute sections back to back, a 10-minute break, then 2 more 35-minute sections back to back, and that's the exam. But if you have accommodations for things like extra time or extra breaks, of course, the LSAT may be a bit longer. Now, the LSAT's a long exam regardless, so ideally, you'll want to have done at least 10 full-length timed exams before the big day, so that test day itself will feel like just another run-through, giving you chances to work on your pacing and endurance. But at this point, final week before the test, if you've already done at least 5 practice tests, you're probably in a pretty good place, but you may want to squeeze in 1 more practice test this week. Remember, of course, logic games are no longer on the test. Logic games have been replaced with a second scored logical reasoning section. So on test day, you'll have 2 scored logical reasoning sections, 1 scored reading comp section, and 1 unscored extra section of either logical reasoning or reading comprehension, meaning that you could potentially have 3 logical reasoning sections back to back, 2 scored, 1 unscored, or you could have 2 reading comp sections back to back, 1 scored, 1 unscored. So if you're going to take at least 1 more practice test before the big day, you might want to take a practice test with whatever your worst case scenario, whatever your nightmare scenario might look like, so that if it happens on test day, at least it won't be the first time that you've gone through that. So let's talk about how you might fit in at least 1 more practice test. If you're taking the LSAT on Friday, for example, you could take Thursday off just to rest and relax, meaning you take a hot bath, get a massage, go for a walk, watch Netflix, whatever relaxation is for you. You might want to do a little bit of studying. If not studying at all, would stress you out, but of course, don't overdo it. You could then take a practice test on Wednesday, the day prior, but again, only if it won't stress you out. Don't place too much importance on any unusually high or unusually low practice test results this close to the exam. If you want to get a realistic indication of where you are, take the average of your most recent 5 practice tests, and that'll be a better reflection of where you currently are and what you're likely to do on LSAT test day. And of course, remember that you can always retake the LSAT. Law schools will not penalize you for having multiple LSAT takes on your record, and they do not average multiple LSAT scores, but rather they only consider the highest score on your record. That's all they have incentive to care about, because that's what goes to the American Bar Association, which in turn is pulled by U.S. News for inclusion in the ever important U.S. News law school rankings. Now, law schools will not care whether you took the LSAT with logic games or without logic games. They just want to see the highest score on your record out of 180. If you do decide to retake the LSAT, if you'd like my help, of course, you could check out the links below. We offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. Feel free to book a call with me and my team using the links below. We'd be glad to help. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.